I am with you now, closer than your breath, nearer than your own heartbeat, and I am speaking so you cannot mistake my voice or the love that moves through it. I have watched you carry questions in your chest like hot coals, afraid to drop them, afraid to hold them, and today I take them from your hands. Listen carefully, because I am drawing a circle of light around you and no shadow can step inside while these words are being given. Archangel Michael stands at the gate of your house and of your memory, and he is not here to frighten you but to make sure nothing unclean interrupts what needs to be said. Your mother has stood at my side, asking for this moment with tears that are not the tears of the earth but the pure river of heaven. And I am allowing her message to pass through my voice so you can bear it, so you can receive it without breaking. You will not be harmed by this truth. You will be healed by it. She says to you, my child, I am more alive than I ever was, and more gentle than I knew how to be. I have learned the language of peace here, and it is the first tongue we speak. Do not imagine me lost, or cold, or wandering. I am held, I am taught, I am still being mother to you in a way that does not interrupt your days yet touches them quietly like sunlight through a curtain. I have watched you open drawers and hold photographs like doors you weren't sure you were allowed to walk through. Walk through them. I am already on the other side, waiting with the patience I wish I had learned earlier. I am proud of you in the ways you cannot see and in the ways you think are too small to matter. Nothing small is small in love. She says, forgive me for what I did not know, for the words I threw like stones when I was tired, for the hours I hid inside myself and left you to guess the weather of my heart. I see now the places where I could have listened longer, laughed sooner, held my anger before it ran into the room like a storm. If there is a place inside you that still shakes when you remember my voice raised, I ask you, let me take that shaking from you now. Put it in my hands. I am not asking you to pretend it never happened. I am asking you to let it become seed instead of ash, to let it grow into tenderness you give to others who do not know how to be gentle yet. The wound will not be your name. The wound will be a doorway. She says, I have watched you be faithful in the small things when no one was clapping. I have watched you choose truth when lies would have paid better. I have watched you keep a promise to yourself while others forgot theirs to you. You think I did not see the nights you cried into your pillow because you were afraid the walls could hear you and you did not want them to learn your sorrow. I saw. I counted tears as one counts pearls, and none of them were wasted. You are not behind schedule. You are not late to your own life. There is a timing here that is kinder than the clocks people build. You are walking inside it even now. She says, there are names you are still carrying that do not belong to you. Difficult. Too much. Not enough. Problem. I ask you to lay them down like a coat that no longer fits. I bless your true name, the one I tried to say but could not pronounce correctly because I was still learning it. Your true name is Beloved, and when you answer to that, doors open you thought were painted shut. When you answer to that, the mirror tells the truth. Archangel Michael leans his sword against the threshold and nods because he recognizes the authority of a mother's repentance and a mother's blessing. I am allowing the next part to be said plainly so there is no confusion. There has been a fear haunting you, a fear that you missed a last look, a last chance, a last apology that would have mended everything. Hear me, nothing essential was lost. The exchange you wanted is happening now. The apology is being given. The embrace is being given. The release is being given. There is a fullness here that is not trapped by the minutes of the earth. Do not go digging in the ground of yesterday to find what I am handing you today. Take it. Hold it. Breathe, she says, there is something practical you must do. Go to the place where you keep the small papers, the box, the file, the old envelope that you don't open because you think it is full of little nothings. There is a key there, and the key is not metal. It is a memory, and when you take it in your hands, you will remember what door it belongs to. You will remember the promise you made to yourself in a younger season that you set down because life grew heavy and no one was cheering. Pick it up again. The timing is ripened. The door will not resist you. When you push, it will swing. She says, be kind to your body. I wanted to tell you this sooner, but I loved you with worry instead of wisdom. I fretted over you when I should have blessed you. So let me bless you now. May your sleep be whole and your breath go all the way down. May your hands be steady and your shoulders learn the language of rest. May the food you eat become song in your blood and not stone in your belly. May your eyes find colors again. May your feet bless every room they enter. I ask heaven to braid strength into your mornings and gentleness into your nights. She says, there is forgiveness you owe yourself for the way you thought you had to carry me like a house on your back. Put the house down. I have a home. You do not need to be mine. Live where you are. Live with plants and light and the kind of laughter that comes when you burn something in the kitchen and it's funny because you know you're safe. Invite friends who know how to arrive and know how to leave, both are holy. Open your windows. I like the curtains you chose. I have seen you looking at a chair you want and telling yourself to wait. I place my hand on your shoulder now and I say, choose what brings peace. Choose color. Choose softness. Choose what welcomes you when you are tired. I speak now with the weight of heaven and the softness of a father who knows the shape of your soul. There is an old fear whispering that if you let go of grief you are letting go of her. That is a lie. Love does not dissolve when tears dry. Love becomes clearer. To release the heaviness is not to forget, it is to see her more truly. You will not betray her by healing. You will honor her by living. Michael stands nearby with a shield in one hand and a lantern in the other. And he has been assigned to escort you through the next crossings where shadows used to gather. He will be there at the appointments you are worried about, at the early morning when the mind likes to rehearse worst-case plays. He will stand between you and imagined disasters and remind you to return to what is real. What is real is this: you are loved, guarded, guided, and graced. Your mother asks for one more thing to be spoken with care. I want you to stop reading your future as if it were a punishment, she says. There will be surprises that do not hurt. There will be doors that open without making you prove that you deserve them. There will be people whose kindness does not invoice you. Prepare a place in your heart where goodness can sit without explaining itself. Prepare a place where joy can be loud without making you afraid that the neighbors will complain. I bless your friendships, your work, your quiet hobbies, your loud hopes. I bless your learning, the new skill you think you're too old to master. You are not too old. You are right on time for this. She says, if you are tempted to keep punishing yourself for being human, remember me. Remember that I learned to be kinder, but I learned it late, and now I offer that kindness to you so you can learn it early. Let it fold over you like a blanket that smells like sun and air. Let it teach you to speak gently to the younger parts of you. Tell them they are safe with you now. Tell them I asked you to be their guardian in ways I could not always be. Michael lifts his face and listens because there is something else moving toward you, and it is not danger. It is promise. Promise walks like dawn, promise does not rush but it never fails to arrive. I am setting things in order behind your field of vision, the meeting you need, the letter that finally says yes, the release from what has been tight for too long. You will notice small confirmations first: stray kindness, ridiculous timing, a song that says exactly what you needed to hear at an intersection where you were about to turn the old way. Pay attention to the small. The small is how the great enters without frightening you. The small is how you will learn to trust me again where fear had been drilling its wells. Your mother asks me to hold your hand when the house is quiet and the memory is loud. I will. When you look at her picture and the ache wants to swallow the room, invite me into the ache. I will not tell you to be strong. I will sit on the floor with you until the floor becomes a garden. I will not ask you to hurry. I will wait with you until the waiting becomes worship and the silence becomes a song only you and I can hear. In that song there will be her laugh, healthy, light, whole, like water over stones, and you will recognize that heaven did not steal her. Heaven completed her. This next part is firm because I love you. Close the door to those who try to profit from your pain. Close the door to voices that make your grief their stage. Close the door to the habit of predicting disaster so you won't be surprised. You and I will practice expecting goodness without being naive. You and I will practice boundaries that do not harden your heart but keep it clean. Ask Michael to stand watch when you must say no. He enjoys defending calm. Your mother lifts her hands and I allow her final blessing to be braided into mine. May your mornings meet you like a friend who saved you a seat, she says. May your afternoons find you doing one thing you actually enjoy. May your evenings remember to be soft. If you ever wonder whether I loved you enough, look how I am speaking to you now from a country where there is no clock, only light. I loved you then with the strength I had, I love you now with the strength I have gained. Take the part that is for you, the courage to start again without bitterness, the grace to accept help without shame, the stubborn joy that refuses to be erased. I add to her blessing my own. I declare over you that the cycle of dread breaks here. I declare that the pattern of bracing for impact dissolves under the weight of peace. I declare that your mind will learn a new road, and that road will not always be uphill. I declare that laughter will return to your mouth in ways that do not feel borrowed. I declare that you will recognize the opportunities that are actually for you and walk past the ones that are traps dressed like invitations. I declare that the memory of her will not be a thorn but a thread, and that thread will lead you through rooms you thought were locked forever. There is one more practical thing, and I will say it tenderly. Write her a letter tonight. Do not edit it. Do not make it pretty. Put in it the things you thought were too late to say. Put in it a story that still makes you smile and a question you were afraid to ask. When you are finished, fold it, hold it, and place it somewhere that feels like a small altar, on a windowsill, near a candle, inside the book you keep close. Tell Michael to stand beside it for 7 nights. In those nights, watch how your sleep changes, how the old nightmare loosens its grip and slips away without ceremony. On the 8th morning, open your window and let the air in. That will be enough. That will be your amen. Now breathe, child of my heart. The message has been carried. The love has been delivered. Nothing can steal it. You will not have to run after it, it will run after you. Your mother is not lost. You are not alone. Michael remains where he has been assigned, bright and quiet, and I remain as I have always been, here, 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 turning your sorrow into a road that leads you home. That I am with you now, closer than the breath in your chest and the pulse in your wrist. Nearer than your memories and deeper than your fears. I have walked with you in every hour you thought you were alone, and I have counted every tear that stood in your eyes but did not fall. Hear me, Archangel Michael stands at your door, not with a sword of iron but with a key of light, and he has opened what you believed was sealed forever. Your mother, who rests in my keeping and has learned the wonder of my peace, has been asking, begging, to speak with you one final time. The heavens listened. The angels waited. And I, the one who loves you beyond death and time, have chosen this moment for her last message to reach your heart. Open yourself. Lay down your defenses. This is holy ground. She comes to you wrapped in remembrance and tenderness, not as a shadow that clings but as a morning that dawns. She has watched you hold on to the unfinished sentences, the worried what-ifs, the ache that lives between I wish and if only. She wants you to know, none of it was wasted. Every laugh you shared with her still lives, a living music in the rooms of eternity. Every argument you regret has already been turned to wisdom in her hands. She does not hold your mistakes as a record against you, she holds them as pages in a book that taught you how to love more carefully, how to speak more gently, how to tell the truth without bruising the ones you cherish. She speaks now from within my light. And her words are simple and heavy with mercy. Child, forgive yourself. I heard when you prayed in secret and said, God, tell her I'm sorry for the times I failed. I responded then by surrounding her with the truth of who you have become, not the thought of who you should have been. She has beheld you as I behold you, becoming, not broken, growing, not guilty, learning, not lost. She asks you to stop punishing yourself for not having known then what you know now. The past was an altar you built with limited pieces, you did the best you could with what you had, and where your best was not enough, my grace covered what was missing. She saw that grace. She is grateful for that grace. And she wants you to receive it without shrinking back, as one who finally understands they are allowed to breathe. Listen now as Michael lifts the veil between your longing and her voice. You won't hear the sound with your ears, you will feel it as warmth that pools in your chest, as memory that steadies rather than stings, as a sentence you suddenly know without anyone having spoken it aloud. I have been with you, she says, in the kitchen when you thought the house was too quiet, in the late nights when the phone stayed dark and your thoughts grew loud, in the mornings when you sat with your tea and wondered if love had anywhere left to go. I carried your name into the gardens of heaven and asked God to plant it where peace grows tall. I asked that your sleep would be guarded, that your mind would be calmed, that your future would be brightened by doors you cannot yet see. This is the private thing she has begged to tell you, not a secret that shatters, but a truth that mends. She says that the love you gave her is not trapped in the past, it is deemed productive in my kingdom. Every choice you make to be kind, every decision you take to stop the cycle of harm, every boundary you set that protects the tenderness you inherited from her, these become her ongoing gifts to the world through you. She is not asking you to prove your love by carrying sorrow like a chain. She is asking you to honor her by choosing a life where light is free to move. She says, be gentle with yourself the way you begged me to be gentle with myself. Take your own hand the way you used to take mine. Michael holds back the voices of accusation while this message is delivered. The accuser always arrives when the heart opens. He rushes in to whisper that you are unworthy of such release, that you must keep paying a debt already cancelled. But I tell you with authority, the account is settled. Your mother is not a creditor haunting your steps, she is a witness cheering your courage. She remembers your clumsy beginnings and your faithful trying. She remembers your humility, the soft, hard-won humility that came when you realized love is not control and care is not ownership. She says to you, you grew. I saw it. I see it. There is something else she wants you to stop carrying, the anger you swallowed because you didn't know where to place it. You were angry that time moved like a thief, that health shifted like a tide, that grief arrived without knocking and sat at the table as if it paid the rent. You were angry at small things because you could not find a safe place to set down the big things. Hear me, anger can be honest, but it must be laid upon an altar or it turns bitter. Your mother asks you to let the anger finally complete its journey into lament and from lament into trust. She says, I am not in the place of pain anymore. Do not keep visiting the old house to look for me. Knock on the door of hope, and I will meet you there. You have asked me whether she truly knew your heart, whether the unsent letters and unspoken explanations ever arrived. They did. Not one thought of love was lost in transit. When you lay awake and said, Mom, I wish you could see who I'm becoming, that wish rose like incense and she saw. She does not measure your love by the precision of your words, but by the posture you held when you stayed, when you returned, when you tried again. She saw you learning to listen, she saw you choosing not to repeat an old harm, she saw you bless those who could not bless you back. In heaven, patience is a color, she wears it with pride when she speaks of you. Now hear what is practical and immediate, because love is not only poetry, it is direction. She asks you to tend to your body as a gift, not as an afterthought. Rest without calling yourself lazy. Eat in a way that honors your strength. Move so your heart remembers it is alive. She asks you to make a small space in your home where peace is easy to find, a chair, a window, a plant, a candle, so your mind can learn which turn takes it back to center. She asks you to forgive a particular person who could not be what you needed, not to excuse what happened but to free your hands for what is next. She asks you to keep a promise you made in a quiet moment and then forgot. And she asks you to watch for a sign that will come in plainness, a remark from a stranger that echoes a phrase she used to say. A scent crossing a room that belongs to no bottle, a photograph you'll find at the bottom of a drawer that will place you at a crossroads of memory and choice. When it happens, smile. Say, I remember. Then choose the way that leads forward. Michael has guarded this message from all who would twist it. He stands not as a figure of fear but as a steward of clarity. He will be near you in the nights ahead. If you feel a sudden courage to speak a healing sentence, to apologize without adding your defense, to draw a boundary without shaking, to dream without mocking your own hope, know that He is strengthening your backbone. You do not borrow authority from the past, you inherit it from me. And angels are happy to remind you, your mother wants you to hear a truth you have avoided because it felt disloyal to say aloud. It is okay to be happy again. Joy does not replace memory, it redeems it. You feared that laughter would erase her, that peace would prove you forgot. But in my kingdom, joy is honor. When you smile without a wince, when you plan without a panic, when you let your shoulders drop and your breath lengthen, you are honoring her by doing the very thing she prayed you would do. Say this out loud if you must, because speaking reshapes the room. I permit joy to live here. I permit peace to stay. She has seen you sit with photographs and ask whether you were enough. I answer you now with the answer she gives me while we walk gardens the earth has not known. You were her home. Not perfect, not without drafts and leaky windows, but home, the place her spirit recognized as safe, the place to which her love returned even when it wandered through heavy weather. You cannot be evicted from that. She lives in my light now, but the doorway of your heart is etched into her eternity. There is a piece of unfinished work she leaves in your hands. It is not a heavy task, it is a precise and light one. She asks you to make peace with a date that hurts, a birthday, an anniversary, a day that seems to smudge every other month with a gray thumb. She wants that date to become a day of kindness. Let it be the day you write one letter of gratitude, send one message that blesses without hidden edge, give one gift that does not keep score. In time, the day will change its flavor. Sorrow will not vanish, but it will no longer be the loudest instrument in the song. You carry questions about what lies beyond this life. I do not rebuke you for wondering. Wonder is often how faith breathes. So let me tell you plainly what helps your soul. She is safe, and she is not far. Distance is an illusion made of time, eternity collapses it. In me, there is no separation that love cannot pass through. She has learned things she could not have known while the body was heavy, and she wants your heart to be unafraid. You are not walking toward emptiness. You are walking toward completion. Between now and then, there is work for you that tastes like purpose, and love for you that feels like bright bread, and rest for you that falls like clean rain. You worry that you will forget her voice. You will not. It will not always sound like syllables, sometimes it will feel like a nudge to call someone back, or a calm that arrives mid-storm, or a sudden refusal to speak cruelly to yourself. When you notice that gentleness, that steadying, that refusal, smile and say, "You taught me this." In that moment, memory will become presence without breaking any law of earth or heaven, because I am the maker of both. Now I must tell you why this is her final message. It is not because she is fading. It is because you are ready. You have come to the threshold where constant looking back would keep you from the room I am opening in front of you. She knows this, and it delights her to give you the gift only the brave can give, permission to go on. After this, there will be signs of her love, but not a letter this long. After this, there will be echoes of her laughter, but not this gathered speech. After this, there will be blessings that carry her fingerprints, but they will arrive wrapped in your own choices and tied with your own courage. She says, "Be the season of your life that I always wanted to see you become." Michael will close the door softly when these words have settled. He will not lock it, he never locks love away. But he will help the air change in the room so that when you stand lighter. The heaviness you have worn like armor, lay it down. It protected you for a time, and I honor that. But you do not need to walk with metal where your tenderness belongs. It is safe to put your hand on your heart and say, "Live." There are people I am bringing to you who will require the wisdom you won the hard way. Do not hoard it and do not spend it recklessly. Speak truth that is kind, not flattery that is cheap. Offer help that strengthens, not rescue that weakens. Become the kind of comfort you once begged to receive. Your mother's legacy is not a museum, it is a living stream. Let it flow into work that matters, friendships that are clean, promises that are kept, boundaries that bless in both directions. In the coming days, you will find yourself at a small crossroads that does not look like much. Choose the path that costs your pride but keeps your peace. Remember that your destiny is not something you chase down a corridor of panic, it is something you agree to in the quiet, and then walk toward one faithful step at a time. When fear tells you that if you slow down you will miss your chance, answer fear with this: "My life is held." That sentence is a shield I place in your hand right now. Use it. If tears come while you read this, let them come. They are not proof of weakness, they are a sacrament of release. If no tears come, do not accuse yourself of being cold. Sometimes strength is dry-eyed. What matters is that you allow this message to do its work, to loosen what is knotted, to quiet what is loud, to soften what is rigid, to brighten what has been dim. Breathe. The world is not demanding anything from you at this exact second. It is only offering you the courtesy of a pause so you can hear me fully. Your mother closes with the words she spoke to me when she asked for this: "Tell my child I am proud. Tell them to forgive themselves the way I forgave myself when I saw your face. Tell them to keep a soft heart and a steady spine. Tell them I will meet them in joy when you say it is time." She places those words like a shawl across your shoulders, not to weigh you down but to warm you as you walk. I am not a God of confusion. I am not a God who dangles love like a prize and snatches it back to test you. I am the one who longs for your wholeness more than you do. When you cannot hold yourself together, I hold you. When you doubt whether you heard this rightly, return to the fruits, peace, clarity, courage, tenderness. If these rise in you, then you have heard rightly. If panic presses in, step back and breathe my name. Panic cannot stand where my name is welcomed. Before Michael withdraws, I am placing over your doorway a blessing that will not expire. It is not loud. It does not announce itself to the street. But those who step into your space will be met by a quietness that tells the truth. Love lived here, and love still lives here. You will be able to do your ordinary work with steadier hands. You will notice a patience with yourself that does not feel forced. You will sense a readiness to plan that surprises you. This is not because life has become simple, it is because your soul has put down a weight and picked up a direction. The final thing: go to the place where memory feels most like a knot, perhaps a corner of a room, a particular street. A song that keeps finding you. Go there on purpose within the next few days. Do not make a spectacle of it, do not announce it. Stand or sit and say out loud, "Thank you for what was. I bless what is. I trust what will be." Then leave without looking back to check whether it worked. It will have worked the moment you speak, because truth has a way of finishing what it begins. This is the last time her message will arrive like this, gathered, complete, unmistakable. It is not the last time love will visit you. But it is the moment in which you let your heart become a harbor, not a storm. Michael places his hand upon your shoulder now. The touch you feel is steadiness more than sensation. Your mother smiles in the light, free of every ache that once dimmed her, gleaming with the wholeness I give. And I say to you, with all the kindness and all the power that are mine, you are released to live. Go in peace.